What's going on? How you doing? Happy Friday. Today is Friday that I'm recording this live conversation podcast at the Life and Transitions Experts YouTube channel and podcast. This is where I'm focused on helping people with the property and the stuff when it comes to dealing with probate, estate planning, and senior transitions. And so that's what we're looking at today. You may find yourself as populations are getting older and living longer, you may find yourself needing to care for either yourself or perhaps your mom or your dad or someone who's spent so much of their life caring for you, and now they're in a place where they're needing a little more support, a little more assistance. And you may find that, oh, wow, it's challenging or difficult finding a way to pay for this new space for my parents. So how do I do it? We're gonna look at it today. You may even be considering selling the family home or dealing with the family home to be able to pay for mom's care. So here are a few options or things to consider, particularly if you're in North Carolina. I am not an attorney. I'm not giving you financial advice or legal advice either, but I am sharing my opinions, and hopefully it's valuable to you and it will help. So let's take a look. Boom, share my screen, present. I was going to present from there. We're not talking about probate today. We're talking about, oh, what in the world? Letting the cat out of the bag. Here we go. Let's go all the way to the top. All right, there we go. That's the first screen right there. So selling the family home to pay for mom's care. Here are things to consider. All right. So timing, that's one of the number one things to consider. You may be in a crunch. Perhaps mom or dad really needs support or care. Things can be pretty challenging as you get older, and sometimes you're facing medical issues. There have been situations where a person goes into the hospital for routine care. Perhaps they find out that there's more complications and they need to go under or have anesthesia or something like that. And they come out a little groggy, or for whatever reason, the hospital caseworkers assess that this person is no longer safe to go back to their home. So you may find within 48 hours or within 24 hours that you are now in a place where you need to find a place for mom and dad to go. They won't release them from the hospital until you have a legally safe space, and adult protective services are here to support and help. And those are one of the things that they're faced and forced to do. Or perhaps timing is because there's the staying at home continues to be an issue because it's a well, we're going to go into that, but because of the specific items and materials and things in the place. So perhaps you can't wait for a traditional sale, or perhaps you are really facing a time crunch. So that's something to consider. What's your timing? Do you have time to look for your different options? That's going to open up different things for you, as opposed to if you're really facing the crunch. There's still options for you. Please know that, but just know that that's definitely a factor. Also, clutter and fall. If you're thinking about having your parents stay at home or you staying at home, you may want to get a safety assessment so that you can, if you need to put up fall bars, I forget the name of them. They're not fall bars, but the bars that we hang up on the sides so that we can protect ourselves from falling. Falling is a very big challenge and risk for our senior population. And quite often when people live in houses for a long time, they collect personal items, and it can really be a risk of not just falling, which is huge, but also fire. Perhaps a stove is turned on, left on, and the person maybe doesn't remember that they left it on, or because of the clutter that's collected over there, that things become an issue. And if you're living by yourself or your health is declining, you don't have as much supervision, this can really become an issue. So that's something to consider when you're thinking about your parents or you at the home. Again, the personal items and the stuff. When it comes to actually dealing with the stuff, this can be challenging. I'm having flashbacks to past situations where I've had to help clean out a friend's garage, and it took us 3 full U-Hauls. Woo, I'm just getting the heebie-jeebies thinking about all this stuff. This person was just unwilling to let go of certain things, and I mean that's okay if someone's dealing with that, but it can become a challenge when you're going through things, especially a home where it's been lived in and so many items may have personal attachments. It may be really hard to get through. Some of it may just really be trash, and the health issue of it or the logistics of it is just so much and too much. So that's something to consider if you're deciding whether to stay home or to move in a new space, or what you're going to have to deal with if you're preparing the property uh, to be sold. All right. And if you're trying to get top dollar, or perhaps these properties are lived in for a while, and so that means there may be repairs or rehabs that need to be done, and or maybe you're trying to again force some value there. Managing contracts and dealing with rehab costs is something you'll need to consider. So true. I had to say it twice. So here are some options that you could have if you're trying to unlock money to use to pay for long-term care. And go back and check out some of the videos I've done on the cost of long-term care in specifically North Carolina, but I do have some national numbers as well. So one option is selling to a family member. This is great because you keep it in the family. I would highly recommend you think about finding an attorney and thinking about setting it up in the proper, deeding it the proper way. Do you need to put this in a trust so you can protect it from probate and other issues and all? I would highly recommend that. But it's great if you keep it in the family. It lessens the strain of having to deal or prepare the property. All the personal items can stay for a little bit, so you can add more to the, it don't have to be managed as quickly for most people. And then usually there's no real estate commission in this way. A con you may want to look at is that it may be hard to find out what is the right or fair price for my family member. The house still might need to be cleaned out. And because of your relationship, funding and financing from the lenders may be a challenge. And this process can be slowed down due to if it's being funded by a lender because of the underwriting process, just like if you listed it. So let's look at the option listing it with an agent. This is the more traditional route for folks who are really looking, they have time, they have the skills to know what needs to be repaired, what needs to be rehabbed, how to stage it, how to set it up, or how to find the right people to do that for them. And if the house is in good shape, this is awesome. If you have time, this is awesome. Agent, they are worth their weight in gold when they're awesome because they do so much. I just got finished speaking to an agent. Shout out Rhonda Sessoms. You're doing awesome out here in North Carolina. I look forward to continue to work with you. But yeah, they can be a trusted advisor, and they have a fiduciary responsibility to you. So they should have your back. I mean, anyone you work with should be a good person and hopefully have integrity, and hopefully you're attracting that. But it's great to know that they have a legally binding responsibility. And it's a great way to get top dollar and get a lot of buyers to see your property. Now, of course, you're going to have to pay real estate commission, which is usually around 6% of the sales price. You're going to need to clean and clear out the property, prepare it, pay any cost of repairs to update and maximize the profit. The realtor will manage the viewings, but if you're in there, if someone's in there, you have to make sure they're coordinated so they understand people are coming into the space. Of course, managing contractors can be a challenge. And in most cases, you'll have to be prepared to pay half or portion of the closing costs with your buyer. Now, a third option is working with a senior transition cash buyer, someone like me at State Pro Service, where I've continued to do the work, like working with the great program Mom's House to be a senior transition specialist. Some of the pros is that this is our world, this is our field, so we have connected vendors that can help you in other aspects of this senior transition, and you're going to get it quicker, and you're going to get your cash faster for the senior care. You won't have to worry about the repairs or managing contractors or the rehab. Closing costs, we pay all the closing costs, or I want to say we, but a professional home buyer should pay the closing costs. Yes, we pay the closing costs, but almost every professional home buyer, that should be one of the things that they do. The home buyer pays cash, which means they don't have to wait for this long escrow process or underwriting, which is like trying to catch a feather in your dreams. Sometimes you just, underwriting is what are they looking for? I just submitted those documents. Oh, again, please, can you just tell me what the next step is so we can move on? That can be challenging. There's very little, it's a simple process because it is cash. And you don't necessarily need to, you're not paying a commission, and you don't need to interview the right real estate agent to find the right. You don't need to interview to find the right real estate agent is what I'm trying to say. And personal items, there's support dealing with the personal items, or you can just leave what you want in there, pick up what you want to take, and have the professional home buyer deal with that. Now, some of the cons is you may be receiving, there are a lot of people out there who are claiming they want to buy a property. Real estate is a great, just to be honest, it's a sexy niche when people are attempting to get involved. And I've come across awesome cash buyers, people I thought were I can learn a lot from, people that I hopefully been able to help on a lot. So there are a lot of great ones out there. And of course, like with anything, there are some folks who are inexperienced, or some folks, a very small percentage, who don't have your best interests at heart. So make sure you're go with a reputable cash buyer. Um, and you will trade speed and convenience for a discounted price. I mean, that's one thing they're coming in to do. They're coming in to solve your problems, make your job easier. And that is very valuable to folks, which can reflect in the discounted price. All right. If you're looking for someone to support you with your senior transition needs, Estate Pro Service, we try to be a will, we try to be a spoke in the will, where we're just helping in every way we can, adding value. So feel free to reach out to us, estateproservice.com. You can have a free consultation. Really, all these services are free. I don't charge for this work. Quite often, when I'm able to purchase the property, that's how I'm able to, especially if I'm able to get a discount, that's how I'm able to keep the doors open. And, that go-giver mentality. You give enough people what they want, you're going to get everything that you need and want. So shout out to Zig Ziglar and all that good stuff and the Go-Givers. I forget who wrote the Go-Giver, but shout out Brent Daniels for putting me on to the Go-Giver. I'm looking over my books to see if I have it over here. I do not. All right. All right. I had fun with you all today. And let's see, any questions over here? Nope, don't have any up. So we're going to rock and roll. Yo, let your light shine. Peace.